Hey, Darshana.
Hi, hi Anushila. Hi, Preeti. Sorry, my computer is like really slow right now. Everybody's fading into the screen. So glad to have you here, Preeti.
I'm glad as well. Thank you.
Dr. Archana Sharma is here.
She was here. She just came back from office, so she'll come back in 5-10 minutes. I have explained to her the sequence and all. So we are waiting for the fellows anyway, so she'll come back in few minutes.
Yeah, so maybe we can, while we wait for the students to join in, then we can begin with Preeti while Dr. Archana Sharma takes a time.
If she is not here, then we'll start with Preeti.
Preeti, I'm so excited to have you here. Such mein, bahut like really. So we began our journey into science together at Miranda House, and we were lab partners.
Oh, okay.
But this is what happened yesterday, because I wanted to put some pictures in the slides that I was preparing, and I ended up going through this whole memory lane, and until 4 in the morning, I was just looking at pictures, and then I was like, I need to go to bed.
So cool. I'm looking forward to your talk. Like we've done, so like while everybody else in our class was busy doing some different things, we started our project on a completely new setup in our third year of our undergrad. And it was so nice setting up that whole thing. Like every time I think of my first like journey into doing something so sciencey, and that one stands out. We had another friend from Kirodimal who joined us in doing that project.
Hello, Kalpana fellows. It would be good if you can also switch on your cameras and we see some faces. Come on. This session is for you. I'm going to switch off my camera from next day. And only fellows are allowed to switch on their cameras. If your bandwidth permits, internet is good. Thank you, Tejaswini. How are you? Vanshika, thank you.
We had one more Vanshika in the last cohort, right? Is it the same one or it's a different one?
No. We didn't have a Vanshika last cohort.
Oh no, so it was in the was in the second cohort, like so Vanshika, she was in the cohort you were mentor in Anushila. So
I remember something with V. Could be.
Yeah, because she used to chat a lot with me, so I forget her second name. I think she was from Gujarat, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Hi Devti, hi Twinkle, hi Shida. Thank you for switching on your cameras. Thank you for joining on Saturday evening. I'll just give 3 more minutes and then I'll start. In the meantime, fellows who have joined, any technical issues that you are facing, please message the Vigyanshala WhatsApp number so that we can help you. Sometimes if you have issues with downloading the assignments and everything, please share a screenshot also when you are sharing the problem so that we know what the error is. There's also students from social welfare colleges, TSRWDC. Thank you for joining us.
There is a poll. Can you see it, Anushila?
Yes.
Come on, put in your responses, girls. Let's make a word cloud.
And also, I just wanted to mention.
For some reason, I do not have
presenter access. Srijit, can you also give Preeti access, make Preeti a presenter? I think I can make you too. Let me see.
Girls, one word. Somebody wrote tired but also excited. Long reply. Just one word. You could either choose tired or excited.
I can see the share tray. Thank you.
Preeti, are you able to share your screen now? Can you just check? I think you have been made.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Darshana, would you do me a favor and send a message to Dr. Sharma that we are
Yes,
beginning? I have a number, but that one is not showing up in WhatsApp. And also, Preeti, we have students from Telangana social welfare colleges, residential colleges. They are a group of students will be joining from one laptop. So they're like screening it in a room because they don't have as many laptops. So that's what they were indicating to in the chat, that they won't be able to turn on their cameras. All right. Darshana, should I start?
Oh, no, I've just sent her the message. You start here.
Okay. Okay. So thanks to all of you for joining us today on this wonderful evening for another Speak Up Kalpana session. We have two inspiring speakers with us. Dr. Preeti Yadav. She is an R&D team leader in the area of quantum information and cryptography at Capgemini Engineering, Portugal. Dr. Preeti Yadav did a physics undergraduate from University of Delhi and obtained her doctoral degree in information security from University of Lisbon, Portugal, and then she joined Capgemini. Thank you, Dr. Yadav, for joining us today. We are so excited to have you here, and also you have a connection to Darshana. So really would love to see all the shenanigans that you did related to science. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And we will also have Dr. Archana Sharma from BARC. Dr. Archana Sharma is the director of Beam Technology Development Group at Bhava Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. She is an outstanding scientist with close to 200 publications. She is a fellow of the Indian National Academy, the Institute of Engineering and Technology, and the Institute of Engineers. She will be joining us shortly if she has not joined us yet. Oh, she's here. Hello, sorry, I was not looking at this screen.
She's here. She's here.
Okay, so both of our speakers are here. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for joining us today. I would now request you to share your journey with us, and I will share the slides while you speak. So,
okay. Should I talk in English or Hindi, where audience are comfortable?
It would be better if, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Darshana, no worries. I was going to say it would be better in English because we do have a lot of students from the southern part. They might not be comfortable with Hindi.
Sure.
You can mix a bit also. Sometimes we have some international speakers, like attendees as well. They might have issues with Hindi.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, first of all, I have thankful for giving the opportunity to be part of this Vigyan Shala, and thanks to all the organizer for giving the format in advance. And so, without wasting time, I will just tell my present position is after 37 years of hard work consistently in Bhabha Atomic Research Center. An issue of girls or women engineers or women professionals are common. It is nothing specific to any department or country. So we must encourage each other. So this is one thing where I appreciate Dr. Anushila to take up this issue. So as I have already mentioned in my next slide, that I am from Chhattisgarh, Raipur, and I did my primary schooling in Saraswati Shishu Mandir, and afterwards Maharani Lakshmibai School, that was also girls' school, and then I went to engineering college, which was first time co-education, but and then I was staying in hostel, and I was doing lots of masti with girls, but in front of boys I was decent, and only I was not having boyfriends. All other people were having boyfriends. That was my uniqueness during my college, because I personally like my fellow. Even now also, I feel more comfortable with ladies, though I have 2 sons. But the personal touch which we get from mother, sister, friends, understanding, that is really great, which very rarely you find same feeling. Many gents also have, they also understand, but those are exceptions. So when I joined this institute, my professor only recommended, Archana, you go, this job is for you. Because I was a bit studious type, I was playing and other thing, I was participating also. My father wanted me to be engineer because he did BTech, and afterwards he joined Polytechnic that time, engineering Polytechnic, and afterwards it got separated, and they told you cannot do higher study because Polytechnic does not require. So before I joined engineering, he told you have to do PhD. So that was mandate which I wanted to fulfill for my father's. So after BTech, I joined Bhabha Atomic Research Center. It was just extension of my college, very academic oriented. You don't get power, you don't have any extra perks, but environment excellent. After these many years, still I can be very proud of my institute. Everything is for learning, and you enjoy your work, and it gives a good opportunity. My boss was first boss was Dr. P.H. Ron, and I asked first thing, sir, I will be allowed to do PhD? Yes, he said yes. So that is how I started doing my higher studies along with my career. Then I got married, I had son, but still MTech karna hai, PhD karna hai. So I went for my MTech to IST Bangalore. The high voltage department was there. That time my son was 1 year old. My in-laws also cooperated, but I never thought now opportunity is given, just go for it, and things will be taken care. So we should never postpone, because you don't know, because like stars every time it does not come together. It is like eclipse or anti-eclipse, you can say. Same, then I did double the course so that for PhD I should not come back. So after coming back, he told, no, this work we will stop, and afterwards you again go for PhD project. No problem. I never had any problem. I know my boss had told, so he will give me opportunity. So that is how I minimum time. Then I went for a PhD again with new project. That time my second son was 1 year old. I went for another semester there, and then the remaining work I did in my institute. And, like my father, if he said something I have to do, means it is my wish also. Same thing I applied for my bosses. They were also very fatherly. I had full faith on them. And my colleagues also supported me. My family took care of themselves, or with a little support they managed. Today, my both sons are doing well. One is doctor, other one is engineer. And I am really focused on my career, family, and my nearby friends. I am not very outward type in terms of shopping or roaming around, but I am really religious. And whenever I go LTC, I will go to some of the temple or some Mansarovar, like trekking. It should be activity based. So, and now when I am in the senior position, very few ladies come in. Out of 13,000, I am in top 20. So that puts a lot of pressure. Though I like to wear pant, but I go in sari. I want to eat with my friends, but I have to take with my bosses or my colleagues. So it does not give me that much taste of the food which I get in my normal. So, but it is enjoyable. My only thing is be very respectful. Whatever time has changed, but value system has not changed. So my only request to our girls that work like boys and be like honesty and sincerity. Hard work has never changed, and it does pay. You don't have to manipulate anything. Many times people told me, you are very transparent, you are very straightforward, you have to be diplomat, you have to be slightly manipulative, but I don't know how to do that. And I still, God gave me this position, and even now I cannot change myself. And I have to take it myself that yes, I have told, because that was the fact. But if people like it, I am only soft with my seniors, with my junior. They are like my children. 50% if they listen, I am more than happy. I cannot make them everything to do. Like children are also, even 1-2 year boy or girl, baby, you cannot make them do as you want. So how we can expect our colleagues to do everything the way? So that much tolerance we do give. And if they are doing 50%, so that they are not labeled like ladies bosses or Hadoos type. So, and another thing I want to say, at least girls should represent girls. They should encourage. If there are 2 persons, we should give a chance to ladies, because ladies coming to this level, in whatever level, whether they are going to 10th or 12th, going far, nobody will allow ladies to go. Even now, at that time my father allowed during 80s to travel me across MP from east to west. I was traveling from Vidisha to Durg alone in train. And when I got this job, my mummy told, why you are sending him to Bombay? He said, our child will serve the country. And that service only helps. Today also we had a meeting, and everybody told BRC can do anything, and this is the time to give back to society. We have made many import substitute, many strategic things, which have gone to design, development, and demonstration. Now it is time to deployment. So there are lobbies in favor of import or in favor of comfort. We have demonstrated, we got everything, but now to make it user friendly, attractive, packaged, economically viable, those are altogether different challenge, and it is we have to sustain it. So those sort of challenges I am facing now. And I really like to see the way now girls are being brought up. They have full of confidence. But one thing I want to say, family system, value system has never changed. We have come here at the cost of somebody. When I joined college, my carpenter person who was teaching us how to do workshop job, he said, because you are lucky you are here, more intelligent person may be outside. Same thing in BRC. During interview, that 1 hour was lucky for me, so I am inside. More intelligent people are, that day their luck was not so favorable. So 50% hard work and 50% gratitude are blessings from elders. So that is being respectful and attitude of gratitude pays wherever you go. So that is the only thing, and everybody can do everything only. So that is what I want to convey. If anybody has any question, they can ask me. I can tell, because when I was not having boyfriend, many of you may be in the similar thing. They told you come Rome, they will give you question paper questions. I told I will better read and face it. And now many of them are out of track. They are doing something else because I was the way I was. If I was seeing my autograph book, what my friends gave me in '87 when I passed. Today also, if I ask somebody to give me, they will write same thing. That much I can say about. Right. So I am thankful to all my senior, junior family members, and it is not my only hard work. It is all blessings. I give up that credit to my every acquaintance whom I have come across. Thank you. Today also I have got this opportunity. More than me, it is your credit that you have selected me. So I am able to interact and show the journey. It is very simple, straightforward, and focused. Please let me know if anything. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for sharing your journey. I mean, when you started, and I'm sure it's still a male-dominated field, surviving there and going through that journey for 37 years and reaching the position where you have reached cannot happen just by luck. I'm sure you took a lot of sacrifices and a lot of dedication, hard work from you. Our girls, I'm sure they have a lot of questions, but we will hold on to the questions a little bit longer and request Dr. Preeti to share her journey, and then we'll take questions from our fellows. Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anushila. Firstly, I would like to say that it is a privilege to be sharing the stand with Dr. Archana Sharma, and actually I feel I don't know about the fellow students here, but I feel much more inspired by listening to you, and I'm glad that this is how I spend my weekend, not only inspiring people but also getting inspired. It was wonderful hearing you. Thank you very much. So I will share my screen now. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm presenting. Should I start again, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe stop share and try again, Preeti.
Yes, that's what I'll do. Now?
No.
Preeti, have you joined from a MacBook, or is it a Windows
Yes,
machine?
it's a Mac.
So the Mac sometimes there's a problem. Vijay, can you help?
Can you?
I give access.
Yeah, she has access. If you
no,
can,
I also changed. I gave access to Teams to.
Okay.
So what I can do is
Quickly, maybe email.
Send it to you. I'm really sorry about it. I should have.
No worries. No worries.
No problem. No problem. Preeti, you can open system preferences and what else?
Yes, that's what I did. I already did that. Provided
security security and privacy.
Security and privacy, there is screen recording.
Okay, so on the security and privacy, there is Teams recording. I think screen recording. Okay, screen recording. Okay.
But this is what I did before the meeting started. I gave access to Teams, but for some reason. But let me. Okay, so I will just send it to Anushila.
Yeah, no worries, please send that. That would work, yeah.
I did put a lot of animation, so I don't know if it will be, or maybe you can provide me control, right? That's possible. And then I would be able to.
You just need to tell me how to let you control.
So I think it should be on the.
Okay. I haven't received it yet. Refreshing it.
Sorry, I should have checked it before.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Don't worry, don't worry. These
Don't
things are
worry
sometimes inevitable, so it's okay.
Don't know why it's taking so long for TV.
Does it work now? Sharing the screen for some reason?
No. I just received it. Quickly download.
So once you share, maybe I can request control.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think I can give you control from here. I saw. Does not allow me to give you. Can you request control?
And it does not allow me to ask for control for some reason.
No.
Let me try if I get.
Vijay or Srijit, can you make her a presenter or host?
Can you make Preeti presenter?
I think she was a presenter. Maybe
Darshan, she is presenter.
Can you make her a host so that she can request for a request for control? Let me know if you are able to.
The other option could be you join from the browser. That also helps sometimes if the Teams app is not working.
Okay.
Properly. Yeah. So you can
okay.
try.
Me too.
Very sorry, fellows, for the technical glitch. We should have also checked this, but we really appreciate your patience and we're looking forward to lots of questions from you all because both our speakers are phenomenal women. Preeti has achieved a lot, rising to the lead on quantum computing at such a young age in industry, and so has Dr. Archana Sharma at BARC. Working across disciplines, they are smashing the glass ceiling and inspiring many of us with their phenomenal work. So keep your questions coming and keep the enthusiasm high in the room because that's what inspires us too.
Maybe while we are waiting for Preeti to share her slides, we can take some questions from the chat. Is Dr. Sharma is okay with that?
Preeti, her call is Anushila, her call is on hold for some reason.
Okay. That's it.
So could someone please give me permission to share?
Sujit?
Okay.
Preeti, if it doesn't work, maybe we can move it for you. You just tell us next slide, we'll go next. Now
I
Preeti
think
is also frozen.
now the internet is troubling, I think. She's frozen.
Sorry, I needed to rejoin because it again needed access. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay.
I think it should work. Okay, let's hope. Does it work?
Yes, it's working.
Great. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Okay. So myself, Preeti Yadav, and I am the technical leader in the R&D department for quantum communications team at Capgemini Engineering, Portugal. And I'm really glad to be here and sharing my journey. So to give you a bit of a background, I was born in 1990 in a small village near the district BARC in UP, if someone have heard of it. I grew up in Ghaziabad. Interestingly, we were quite rooted to the village, so much that with every opportunity we got, we would just go hop on my dad's Bajaj Chetak, and we would all just go to the village every Diwali, Holi, and name any festival, and we were in the village. And so much that I used to feel left out because all my friends were in the city in Ghaziabad, and I always wanted to spend one festival in Ghaziabad, and it never happened. But now that I'm an adult, I would give anything to go back to those days and that time in the village that I spent. In terms of what I wanted to become while growing up, it was to be a fighter pilot, which is funny because I think this was mostly inspired by the Bollywood movies. And I was quite, I didn't, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I always had this notion of doing something for the country, and then watching Bollywood movies, I always thought that that being a fighter pilot is something I wanted to do. But of course, I had no clue of how I was gonna do it or anything, and it changed as I grew up. In terms of friends, I was never very lucky in school. I remember this boy who was so competitive that if he knew a math problem, he wouldn't share it with you because according to him, then you would also know the answer to that problem, and he didn't want to share that. And I remember him asking me in 10th grade that, do you even know what PCM is? And I was like, what is PCM? And then he would say, PCM is physics, chemistry, maths. And this is what I'm going to take when I go to go after high school. So because his older brother was an engineer and he had everything sorted out for him, in my case, that wasn't true. I had absolutely no idea, even in 10th grade, what I wanted to do. And how I ended up taking science in 11th grade is yet another story. But that was the thing with friends. In terms of teachers, I always consider myself a teacher student, if that's even a term. By that I mean that if I got a bad teacher, I wouldn't do well. But if I got a great teacher, I would really surprise myself. And I really excelled in some of the courses because I had amazing teachers. But then this also had a downside, that I was not a consistent performer. I was never the special student that teachers noticed. And so yeah, that's how it was. And on top of everything, I never had any family pressure. But I kind of associated with, and I will also come to this point at the end of the talk, that in order to be ambitious, you need to know of ambitious stories. You need to know what you want to be. So those were the kind of things that people in my family were not aware of. And because of that, they never put any pressure. And I was kind of taking the direction that were given to me with time. And that's how my journey in school started. In terms of my academic journey, it was Miranda House, the college I was able to get in after securing 82% in 12th grade, which may not be possible today, I think. Was a really life-changing event. I met a lot of people. You can spot Darshana here, I think, in the middle. And it was very different experience. It was the first time I had ever taken a train because I lived in Ghaziabad and I used to travel to Delhi every day. And meeting people with different backgrounds, different cultures, different capabilities. It was a large class of 40 girls, I think. So that was an amazing experience. And then this happened, and Darshana was the person, because when you talk about people who were there in your life that made things happen, that resulted in something that you are today, this was one of them. This was the first conference that I attended. It was in 2008 in IIIT Allahabad, where we got to meet Nobel laureates. And interestingly, this picture was even published in a local newspaper. And we laughed a lot about it, how we all look all serious and everything. But it was very inspiring to be around these huge people, like these Nobel laureates that you were reading books of Kohentanoji and then really big names, to be around them and hear from them. So this was amazing. And then the next summer I had a chance to, again, this was through Darshana that we went to this place. And it was a summer school in an institute called Purna Prashna, Institute of Scientific Research in the outskirts of Bangalore. And this was again great because it was a 1 month long program, a school, where there were different speakers, that really renowned speakers from across the country. And it was amazing, because we just didn't get to hear the talks, we actually got to know a bit more details of how research is done, it was amazing. And then my master's, which was also in University of Delhi. A lot of my friends were the same people from university. From bachelors, but people actually started to choose their different specialization in the second year of masters, and that was something. That's when I actually started to feel that things were getting serious, and now you need to start thinking what you want to do next. But it was also exciting at the same time. Then I also, another important winter school that I attended was in Saha Institute of Natural Physics, Darjeeling. You can see myself posing with a red panda. I think they are only found in Darjeeling in India, if I'm not wrong. And then finally, RRI, Raman Research Institute, Bangalore. And I would say that this place has the biggest role in shaping my career path. And I went there twice, once for a month-long visiting program in 2010, and then next time for a year-long thing. And there I got to publish my first paper. Not only that, before this, I didn't mention, but in my master's, I was more interested in high energy physics, and I was taking courses related to quantum electrodynamics, quantum field theory, particle physics, those kind of things. But then in Bangalore, because of my supervisor there, Dr. Shrikant, I was introduced to quantum cryptography, which is what I do now. So that was the first introduction, and the thing is, it resulted in a scientific paper, and this is something very important in academic world, and I think it was a good thing. So before I moved to Lisbon, I did get into a PhD program at IIT Kanpur. I was kind of proud of that at that point because it was really difficult. We all know that in India you have to pass a number of entrance exams, and it's really competitive. And I was really happy to be there. Not only that, this was the first time I was living in a hostel with, and as Dr. Archana mentioned, the way you bond with girls is different. And I made some of the, I don't know, the best memories of my life there. It was amazing, the 1 year I spent there. There was also this feeling of the fact that you could be outside in the campus at any time at night, and that was quite liberating, the feeling of which you don't get in Ghaziabad clearly. So, but then because in terms of my research interests, I figured out that this is not what I wanted to do, and I wanted to go back to quantum cryptography. And hence I got into a PhD program in Instituto Superior Técnico, Lisbon, University of Lisbon Institute, in 2015. And this was a big step as well, moving out of the country for the first time. Made a lot of friends, got into running. I did my first half marathon in 2017. Cooked a lot of Indian food for friends. I still do, and I think people, my friends here, they got to have this idea of what Indian hospitality is from how much I was cooking for them, but this is who we are, right? We Atiti Devo Bhava is a thing, and so I cook a lot. This is one of my hobbies. So in terms of the challenges, before I even mention challenges, I have a picture of my family here, my parents and my younger brother. This is when they visited me in Portugal in 2017. And I want to mention that there may be challenges in your journey, but it's these kind of things that you think that it's worth it. And for me, it's my family, the things I can do for them and the things I would want to do for them. And yeah. So the first challenge I thought was associated to guidance. And I mentioned that in my family, nobody had been in this area. Nobody had done a PhD. I mean, PhD came much after. Nobody had even done engineering. So I always felt that if I had a bit more guidance, things could have been different. So that's something that was really challenging for me. The second was related to money. So we always had this. I would want to mention that I think I was the only person that I knew among my friends who actually didn't fill any of these engineering exams after in my 12th standard. And one of the reasons was these the application forms. They costed a lot at that time. It was like 2,000 rupees or something. And we had this mindset in my family that money was more important than anything else, because we didn't have much. So we always gave more importance to money than anything else. And as you can see, we sometimes put money above time, and that costed me a number of times. For instance, in 2012, when I came back from Bangalore, I stayed at home, and I knew that, as I told in the beginning, that I am kind of a teacher student. I'm not proud of this thing, but this is how I am, and I'm trying to change it. But I really need teachers, good teachers, to make me excel in different ways. And I really wanted to, take up these coaching center courses, and they're actually good. But then we didn't have money, and then I actually waited 1 year. I tried to clear those exams on my own. Didn't really happen. But then I was able to clear it the next year. So I kind of wasted 1 year because of that. So yeah, a lot of times in my life, if I look back, I feel that in my family, we always give more importance to money as opposed to time. And this is not, it should be. If it's possible, try to see at what cost you are making those decisions. Okay, so what do I do now? I am, as I mentioned earlier, I am a quantum team leader at Capgemini Engineering. My role involves managing the team. I define the next steps of what we do in the lab. We have an optics lab at our office premises. We deal with quantum communication experiments, which involve single photon lasers, detectors, polarization modulators, fade modulators, and those kind of things. And it's very, very exciting to do those kind of things. But on top of that, I also get to do a lot of dissemination activities. For instance, on the left, it was an event with IBM where I was supposed to present the changes quantum communications can bring to the mobility landscape. And below that, there was a roundtable discussion with Department of Homeland Security, Information Security Unit, and it was a pleasure to hear from them. And on the right is a day in the lab where we were discussing on how we are going to present a demo for an event that was happening. But yeah, feel free to ask me more questions about my work afterwards. So yeah, we are coming towards the end of the talk, and I want to talk about what are in my opinion, what are the things that could help you towards a thriving career in STEM. The first thing I was supposed to put animation here. Now they are all visible, and probably that would be confusing. But the first thing is connecting with the world outside. And when I say world outside, I don't necessarily mean abroad. It's just the world outside your comfort zone. Whether you are in a small town, city, or in your college, anything that's outside, collaborating with people, be it online, offline, just getting to know what are the things being done outside. Then it's expanding your knowledge domain outside the textbooks. And this is important because these kind of things, they are visible in your CV when you have added skills. That it could be any project that you do part-time, it could be anything that interests you. And now, compared to the time when I was growing up, I got my first laptop in the 3rd year of my bachelor's, and we didn't even have internet on the phone. So now, even though there are plenty of problems with internet and social media and so on, but there are plenty of good things, and I would like to encourage you to grab on to those good things. And then I want to say that you will never be fully prepared. So when you look at some application, some position or anything, you will always think that I am kind of short on the requirements. But that should not stop you from applying, because you will never be fully prepared. There will always be things that you don't know, and nobody is fully prepared. And with that, you should be willing to lose this fear of rejection. It's easier said than done, I know, but this is something you should really try to learn how to do, because like for PhD applications, you apply for like 50 places and then you'll get rejected from 45 most likely. But that's okay. That's part of the process. So you should get to learn how to be okay with this rejection. And lastly, it is okay to not know stuff. It's okay to say that I don't know, as long as you have the will to change that, because that's really important. You should own to what you don't know, and then change that, and not be the same the next day, and just keep progressing. The advice that I would want to give to girls in STEM. So Capgemini has this program of women in engineering. I attended a few. I'm not that much involved in it, but I attended a few talks, and there was this speaker, and she was talking about her achievements, and 15 years in industry, this, and the last one was recovering wallflower. And then she mentioned what a wallflower is. So wallflower is somebody who actively tries to stay away from spotlight, from being visible, from attention. And I used to be like that. I'm still a bit like that. But what she said is that for the role that you are playing in society, for the mankind, it is important to not be that, to stop being that. You have to step up, you have to speak up and be more visible. And this is also important to set a good example, because she also mentioned that you can't be what you can't see. So if you want to inspire people, and if you want to inspire girls, it's important that you show them what you are, because then if they don't have an ideal to look at, how can they want to be like that? So you have to give them examples by being more visible, by being an accessible ideal, and that's how I would like to end the talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Preeti. That was amazing. It was also really cool to see Darshana so young and
no,
really
we are all still young.
Really serious.
Very better also. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Without further delay, I think I'll just request the girls to take questions, to ask me a question, and also take Preeti's final advice. Speak up, be visible. So we do have some questions in the chat. Krishna, before we take your question, maybe Deepthi, would you like to unmute and ask your question first? Because she has put it in the chat when Dr. Sharma was talking. So
yeah,
Deepthi?
Sure. Yeah, first of all, good evening, ma'am. Like the talks were like very inspiring. So my first question was to Dr. Archana, ma'am. Ma'am, like how did you manage your time between family, studies, work, PhD, MSc, a lot of things, and along with kids? Like it's a lot of work. So like I'm a student, I have just assignments, projects, some association activities, and I find it like so struggling. And I'm just hearing your story of managing all of these things. Like how did you even do that?
When I'm in office, I am in office, and when I'm at home, I am at home. So that is how, and no compromise on either side. If I'm in office, I will not say my kid is doing this, that, and I will keep calling and keep disturbing. And so that is how your school timing is school timing. Then you are not thinking anything else, what is happening in your family or outside world. And when you go home, you don't think, now you know school is closed. So that way, When you are in office, you have to school, and don't be scared of family also. And they are finally they will become your support system. And friends you are making, they will remain your friends. Is also our responsibility. And one thing I always find that people like ladies and gents, when we are talking about girls, whatever gents do with pride, girls or ladies do with guilt. That should not happen. That I saw in Preeti's presentation also. She has done everything with pride. So that also we should remember. Do with pride, with dignity. So no, don't compromise. All the best for your future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I think Twinkle had a question too. Twinkle. If not, Kavya, are you here? Okay, we'll come back. Krishna, please go ahead. Also, Krishna is from our previous cohort. I think she just wanted to join, and the fellows love interacting with the role models. So I think that's why she's here. So hi, Krishna. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, that's the reason why I got to know that Dr. Sharma and Dr. Preeti Mama both are there. So I immediately got into interaction. Actually, I'm a freshly BSc graduate who is looking forward to have a career in quantum technology. So my question is to you that how do I pursue that path? You know, the field is quite booming and I'm quite interested in it as well.
So I'm very happy to know that there are people interested in this area. In my case, as I was saying, that I only got to know about this thing after my master's. We didn't have in the Delhi University curriculum. We didn't have a course focused on quantum technologies. So that's already a good sign that right after your bachelor's you are interested in that. So it's a general advice for any other area as well, that the points that I was making in the second last slide, that you really need to go outside. You really need to look up for opportunities related to conferences, summer schools, winter schools, all these kind of things, internships, and there are amazing people in India. We know the professors that we have. They are and you just have to write to people, and they are very willing to guide students. Like a lot of them guided me and all of us, as we know. So this would be my advice on that. I don't have anything specific, but yeah, keep looking out for these kind of things. What I can do is I think there are also some websites. There is a specific websites associated to events specifically for quantum technology. So I will later on share it with Darshana, and she can share it with the community, and maybe I can also try to find more material related to quantum technologies, and if it interests you, it would be good.
Surely, ma'am, that would be a great help. And if I wish to have a conversation with you via email, can we have that as well?
Of course.
Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Such an inspiring talk you both gave. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. And thanks, Preeti, for taking up the question. Gauri, would you like to unmute? I think Shari is.
Yes. You both gave really inspiring talks. First of all, like I had a question for Preeti ma'am, like it's like a two-part sort of, like you mentioned, you earlier enrolled at IIT Kanpur and then you again applied abroad. Like, so what, made you decide that you wanted to pursue it like abroad, and what like research interests in you made you decide that this is what you wanted to do? And the second one was about like your day-to-day tasks as a team leader, and like what do you do usually, and what are the tasks that you primarily do as in your positions? Like, I wanted to know about that as well.
So why I moved out, why I decided to leave IIT Kanpur, as I said, I was going with this feeling in my heart that high energy physics area was very close to my heart during my masters, and in the last semester of my masters, and I thought that this is what I wanted, but then I was kind of out of touch for 2 years, for almost 2.5 years. And the field kind of grows very fast, and there were things going on at CERN and all of these big news, and I felt that I could have made a bigger difference in quantum cryptography, because in that area I already had a published paper, and in academia that kind of has more value, especially if you do it before your PhD. And I had a lot of support from my supervisor there, and he has some sort of bias. He thinks that women in cryptography, they are amazing, so he always wanted to push me to go for cryptography, Dr. Shrikant. So yeah, a lot of those decisions, I wasn't particularly looking for going abroad. It just happened that the program was very good. It was called DPPMI, doctoral program for physics and mathematics of information. It was an interdisciplinary program where there were people from math, from computer science, from physics. And for example, my PhD was in information security. It actually belongs to math department, but I'm not really a mathematician. So I was a physicist, so I was somewhere in between. So it was a very unique program that made me opt for it. And in terms of what my day-to-day tasks are, currently this lab, it was started from scratch by me. We had to contact sellers, we had to design a setup, we had to buy those devices, and now we actually are in a position where I think we have almost all the devices that we need. So we are doing tests on the different quantum communication protocols that we have. And of course, we don't have the full working protocol. What we do is test each optical device, their characterization, their electronic control, and endless number of tasks that you can have in the lab. And it's quite challenging, because unlike the standard photonic optical communication area, in quantum communications, you work at really low power levels, and for instance, the polarization of a photon, it changes drastically as it passes through an optical fiber. So the stabilization and compensating for those losses, these are quite challenging tasks. So I like to do that. I don't always get to do the lab work, because I also have additional responsibilities involving the dissemination activities I am involved in. I am also involved in creating the roadmap for the team, planning a vision, and as well as being part of the group, because I mentioned that I'm working in Portugal, but the Capgemini group has teams in other countries, and we try to have some collaborations with all of them as well. So it's a bunch of things. But yes, I would say, if I were to ask what's my passion there, my passion there is working in the lab and trying to get results, even if they are negative results, as long as I get to know something more about the setup, and that's quite exciting.
Thank you, Preeti.
It's really nice to hear.
No problem.
Like, can I ask one more question?
Gauri, I think we should also give others
Okay, yes.
chance. If we have time at the end, we will come back to you, okay?
I think, Anushila, we can augment this question to Dr. Archana Sharma as well, as a leader in the group.
Yes, and I think there is a related question in the chat, Darshana, from Kavya before, on like, how do you choose your research field in your career? Like, kind of a similar question that Gauri was asking Preeti. So, Dr. Sharma, if you could also share your, like, how did you choose the field of work that you are currently in?
And also, like at BARC, what are your day-to-day responsibilities look like? Because you're leading a group as well,
Right.
and you are doing your own research also. So,
Right.
how is your responsibility split? Like Preeti was mentioning in her work that she's doing a lot of vision mapping and road mapping also. So, how does the day look for you, Dr. Sharma?
Okay. Thank you. Miss Preeti's journey is really amazing, and she has popped up here and there, and she had to struggle MSc, then SINP, then IIT. But I had very smooth, and whatever my bosses are telling, because BRC is a very big organization, you know, and Department of Atomic Energy has their own mandates. So those mandates are decided at top level, and we have to execute. Now I am heading laser plasma electron accelerators program, as he said, CERN, another thing. Quantum is now being brought up. Now we are just making Josephson junction. So my PhD program, our problem was being given by my boss. And then I have to execute it, because here, because of embargoes, we are used to making our own indigenous path. Things are not available off the shelf, but and I was the only girl. Many times they gave me advantage also, disadvantage, but I made best use of everything. So my PhD topic was actually assigned by my boss, and I have to find the way. I have to optimize the result of accelerator uh, interface insulating material for vacuum and oil. Many of you may not understand, but you can say it is part of the system or subsystem to understand the physics. Actually, physics is the mother of all engineering, and all branches. And nowadays, no branch is pure. Everywhere you need multidisciplinary activities. That's why networking is very important. You don't know who will come for your help from which direction. Sometime even my tradesman or IT person will give very good ideas. So we should never underestimate anybody, even if it is your driver or your colleague. Maybe they are from the different field. So like you have heard many people without MB also, they are very successful businessmen, and with MB also you cannot run the business. So we should believe on our instinct also. Yeah. So my journey was that way, very cozy in department. Hard work was there, but the path was designed. In between, I had to take a call. Director sir had some thing to say. So that type of availability should be there, and full faith on your system. That integrity matters a lot. Why Preeti came so forward? Because she had, her boss was, our guide was believing on her more than any. She herself may not be having that much confidence at that time. Now she looks very confident. But you imagine MSc girl who doesn't know anything outside, but her boss is telling, guide is telling, you can do, you must go in this. So that vision is required. Like my professor Birthday told, you go and do. This job is for you, not anything else. So that mentoring has brought us to this level, and now it is our duty to mentor our colleagues. So anybody wants any dimension in laser, plasma, accelerator, or anything in BRC, everything is there. Quantum computing or quantum networking, rather, I would like to ask Preeti if she is visiting India, do visit to BRC. I would like to invite you for a talk. Please let me know when you are visiting here. And my son is incidentally leaving tonight from Sao Paulo to Lisbon. He will be reaching Lisbon tomorrow. He is working in BNP Paribas. It is very, yeah. Thanks to Vigyan Sala for giving this opportunity. I will ask him to meet you.
Yes, yes, it would be a pleasure.
Yeah, he also wants to do PhD before. So you can take him as your student. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma and Preeti. We'll take Shari's question, and then we'll take Vanchika's question from chat. Okay, Shari, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the wonderful talks. I have a question to Dr. Preeti. Ma'am, as you said, you are working on quantum optics right now, right? So actually, I'm supposed to write a research proposal which is based on quantum optics in space and time. And I was actually looking for some research papers regarding the same, but seems like it's not being that explored yet. Maybe the space and time hasn't been explored that much using quantum photonics. So do you have any particular advice or idea for that?
Actually, I have never heard of quantum photonics with space and time kind of work, but I'm interested in
exactly the reason I was like, there is not much explored. So how am I supposed to write a research proposal that can impress the professor there?
I see. And for what is it for a master program, for a PhD program?
It's for a PhD.
I see. I see. I guess, I mean, you have to be also a bit careful with writing with the research proposals, because a lot of times you may be proposing problems that are too hard to solve, or it actually happened with me in the very first problem that we worked on in my PhD was quantum communication protocols that use causality, that you try to use the speed of light to put some constraints on what you cannot do in a certain communication protocol. And I had to, there were a lot of results on that I was not aware of, and I came to know about them later on. And it was kind of a waste of work after 1.5 years, and I still have that paper written there and nothing being done of that. So in a PhD, in the beginning at least, I think you have to be go a bit choose the direction a bit smartly, because in the beginning you do need some research papers to have published, and only later on explore some directions that may be a bit too difficult to begin with. I don't know. This is just my personal opinion, but yes, do go ahead with researching thoroughly this area and what results already exist, and also I would suggest having some opinion from some of your professors during masters, or to not just proposing something that may not result in that may not be that good for the application, because in the end the professor that sees the application, that they also need to have some confidence in that work, right? I hope I didn't demotivate you or anything, but just caution to go ahead. And sorry, I don't have much idea on this area to give any opinion at this point.
Thank you, ma'am.
Darshana, you want to say something?
I just wanted to add something to this. Thank you, Preeti. I think that was very helpful. I just wanted to extend what Preeti said. So who asked this question? What's the name? Sorry, I didn't get the name.
Sherry.
Sherry, so before you write a proposal, I think you need to know a bit about the field, and the best way to understand the field is by reading some review papers that have been published recently, and don't fall in for predatory journals or something like that are not so well-known journals. I would say if you're looking at this particular field, look at who the field leaders are. Just Google, okay, field. Now these days ChatGPT gives you a list of experts and all. Just ask it, like, who are the leaders? Go to their web pages, read some of their recent papers, and look at the reviews. Like, there are always topical reviews about a field that give a direction of where the field is progressing in 5 to 10 years, and what may be possible open questions. And the thing with these PhD proposals is, like, are you already enrolled in a program, or you are where is this program for? Like, can you just give me some context?
Actually, I'm applying for this. It is at the BBQ labs in Harrow University.
And where is that?
It's in UK.
It's in UK. Okay.
Heriot-Watt University.
I think I did apply to Heriot-Watt University. And who's the person you are applying to?
It's Dr. Mehul Malik.
Okay. I think I applied to Dr. Erica. But yeah, what Darshana said is absolutely correct. I'm sorry, Darshana, you can.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to add another thing. When you are applying for these PhD proposals and all, they also want to just understand your way of thinking. Okay, they are not asking you to dig up and write a fresh research proposal that nobody has done and all. They just want to understand your general way of thinking. And don't worry, we will be covering some of it in the SOP workshop that we will be conducting, because it's really important for you to show who you are. And if you progress to the accelerator phase of program Kalpana, we will actually doing workshops on these areas, like how you really write these proposals and how you, what is the, like there is no set formula for success, but there are always ways of how you pitch yourself as a thinker, right? People don't want someone who knows everything. They want someone who is open to learning. And I think that's what both Dr. Archana Sharma and Dr. Preeti Yadav, they both emphasize that thinking, being open to change your mind and being open to learn, being adaptive is the most important, most critical skill that will help you across disciplines. So what if tomorrow, if you don't want to continue with your quantum cryptography or whatever, so Dr. Archana Sharma, are you leaving? Sorry, I was just...
No, I liked your point.
Like,
You
giving
had,
thumbs up.
Yeah, so I was just confused.
That was a very impactful sentence. Yes, I liked your.
Thank you. So that's what I wanted to say. Like, you know, don't be worried about writing the most perfect research proposal. And also, as Preeti mentioned, as Dr. Sharma mentioned, write to as many people as you want in your field, right? And you may get the most like work opportunity that is most optimum for you from the most unsuspecting places, right? Which you didn't even expect. I never thought I would go to Cambridge. I just ended up going there, right? So it's just like life sometimes directs you to places if you are open to learning and if you're open to adapting and changing. So show that flexibility in your application, this flexibility of thought, the general awareness of the field, and all of that matters. But don't put yourself under the pressure that I have to write a upcoming paper that will get a Nobel Prize in this research proposal. Don't go with that mindset. Okay. So sorry, I'll just stop here. Thank you, Anushila, for letting me take on here.
No worries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll take Vanshika's question. She has an issue with the mic. She's asking, she is also a teacher student. And she has this, like, she her performance is based on the teacher, and she gets emotionally attached with the teachers. So she's asking how can she get over this, or how does that, I know, harmful for me? It's not harmful, but I guess you get the point. She's a bit worried. It depends, I guess. So, Preeti, would you like to?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know if it is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I would just say that I was lucky enough to get really good teachers, as Dr. Archana said, that I had these people in my life during the time in RRI, as well as during my PhD here. Both my supervisors, they're really like friends. I always, whenever I make chana masala, I always share it with them because they are really fond of Indian food. So yeah, I was lucky with this thing, and yeah, it happens sometimes that you get a bit emotionally attached to the idea of that, and but try to think of what they would want you to do next, and try to make them proud. I always feel that I owe a big like, I'm so grateful to my professor in RRI, Dr. Shrikant. And very recently, I think I was sharing it with Darshana when we talked a few weeks ago, that few months ago, I wrote to him, being all grateful and telling him that what a big role his presence has been in my life. On the other hand, he kind of responded in a way that, no, I myself have been thinking how far you have gone. So for them, the best thing that they can get in return is to see you succeed, and that's what we should try to aim for.
Thank you. Dr. Sharma, since you also have a lot of experience dealing with students and been in the field for such a long time, you can share some advice on this part. I think it will be really helpful.
Yeah. With me, 20 MTech and 10 PhD people have already done, and they treat me like I can say motherly. So, but the guru teacher are also like our family member, and what respect and emotional attachment gives us in return, that you make them proud, as you said. And when my parents or my teachers are more happy than me when I achieve something, if I encounter any failure, they will be more worried than myself. So they become your strength, not the weakness. So emotional attachment is good as long as it is your strength. So keep them as your strength, that somebody is there for you to think, to support, and to encourage. So these emotional bondings are required, and that is what makes us human being. So cherish this emotional connectivity as your strength, and make
Thank
them
you.
proud with your sincerity, hard work. That is the best thing which you can offer to them. When we can leave our parents, we leave our children, why not we can leave and move on? Finally, it is for them. So don't have any guilt. It should never become, otherwise they will feel guilty. Why I am like this, or why I allowed you to be so emotional. So even if tears are there in your eyes, you should have a spirit in your heart. That will make you work.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, and thank you, Preeti, for sharing your journey. I would now request Rachana to close the session and thank the speakers.
Thanks, Anu, for asking me to do this today. I couldn't be more proud, to bring someone to this platform with whom I started my journey in science, and for me it means a lot. So I just wanted to say this thing to everybody present here, is like in a lot of times, of course, we have different people who shape our aspirations and who shape our journeys. And I think Preeti was way too kind in saying, okay, I did this and that. But I think it was all of us together. All of us came from similar backgrounds with no exposure in our families to science, like in a way, first generation learners, parents didn't finish school. And four of us who were there in that particular picture that she showed from Allahabad, Srishti, Renu, Preeti and I, all four of us are physicists in different fields. And I think it's just that early ambition that we push on each other, and the field that I did my PhD in, we have a concept called nucleation, aggregation, and growth, right? So so when something is growing into a crystal, first you need a site where all the things can come and assimilate. There'll be a first seed somewhere, right? So I think for us, that platform was given by Miranda. And then that tribe sort of started growing, and we grew together. We shared our aspirations with each other, and I think those 3 years of being together founded a strong sense of sisterhood and tribe in us. And I think that was a foundation that we all were waiting for, because we diffused into that particular environment from different backgrounds, different families, not knowing what future will hold for us. But to be able to share your dreams, to be able to connect with people with like-minded aspirations, I think fuels it a lot. And that's what happened to us. And that's why we are so driven to create this community of women scientists and leaders such as Dr. Sharma, Dr. Preeti, and all of you out here, right? So that you people can find your relatable role models in the women leaders such as Dr. Archana Sharma and Preeti, who are coming here and sharing their journeys. And you also find a sense of sisterhood with your fellows, your fellow incubatees in the program. See, the tribe that we found, four of us found in that small college classroom in Miranda House, has stayed with us till here. Our families are like, for all four of us, they have just been like proud of each one of our achievements. This is not that my parents are celebrating just my achievements or Preeti's are celebrating just her achievement. It's just that it just became so strong. And I think, imagine how more powerful this world would be if young girls from India, Pakistan, Nepal, South Africa are coming together and shaping their future together. And that's what we want. And in this endeavor, I'm really grateful that Dr. Archana Sharma and Dr. Preeti Yadav were here with us today, shared their inspiring journeys, how they have broken the glass ceiling in the disciplines that they have worked, they have studied, and how they continue to inspire each one of us today. So a heartfelt thanks to both of you for being here today and sharing your insights, learnings, and journeys with us. We are just so indebted to you both for your time and for being so open, so frank, and so candid in opening your hearts and your minds to us today. So thank you from all of us on behalf of each of the Kalpana Fellows. My heartfelt gratitude. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Anushila, for conducting the session so brilliantly.
No worries. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Thank
for
you.
your
Sharma.
very interesting meeting. Thank
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'll be here for another 5 minutes. If anybody has any questions, they can ask. We are barring Vijay from staying on for 45 minutes after the session because he just doesn't want to leave. Vijay, you are not allowed.
I'm leaving. I need to feed the dogs.
Sure,
I need to feed myself.
Okay.
Bye,
Take care,
everyone.
Preeti. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. It was a great Saturday afternoon for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions. And the next we will have last two speaker Kalpana sessions on 11th and 18th. After that, the master classes will begin. So please take this opportunity to ask your questions, just to be out there, and any fear, any doubt, or any general remark that you all want to make, please feel free to do that. Okay, if there are no questions, Srijit, can you end the meeting for everybody, please?